formula, in order for it to be implemented correctly, needs to leverage systems in order for everything to flow. Think of the deal finder's formula as the process of pushing something down through an assembly line. And of course, you can't be at every checkpoint on the assembly line, nor would you want to. You want to be sitting back in your leather executive boardroom chair, letting the process, the machine work for you, and you just reaping the benefits, cashing the checks, and going on vacation as your business works for you. So in order for the deal finder's formula to work, you have to have some funnel automation. And the funnel has many cool triggers and smart automation. You can get started in our Deal Finders Challenge. I'll talk to you about that a little bit later, but we're going to break down the Deal Finders formula here as we continue on. So part of the formula is making sure you send out some "Are you selling" messages, okay? And so we've already broken down the formula with TL plus ST, that's target list plus skip tracing. And in order to actually get to the point where you have messages going out, are you selling messages, after you have that contact information, the phone numbers, the landlines, the mobile numbers, the emails, you have to have some, technology, some systems to be sending these messages for you. Otherwise, you'll be using your cell phone, and if you have a list of 5,000 prospects, you saw Nikki's list has 6,200 prospects. If she were to try to reach out to 6,200 prospects using her cell phone, or just using her computer, she would spend all day trying to do that. It wouldn't be feasible. It would not make sense. So you have to have systems to deliver these "Are you selling" messages. And so now we're actually looking at the result of the first 7-day campaign with some additional follow-up. And you can see that she started with 6,200 some contacts. And out of the 6,200 some contacts, she had roughly 10% of them turn into contacts. So let me rephrase that. She had roughly 6,200 prospects, okay? These are potentially motivated sellers, vacant property owners, absentee owners, and there are 6,200 prospects. So roughly 10% of those prospects turned into contacts, meaning that they responded to her "Are you selling" messages. And so you can see here a snapshot, that the 6,200, roughly 10% turned into contacts. And you can see on the slide here that you have some that still needs follow-up with seller, some categorized or classified as dead lead. And this is just the first day of the campaign. Of course, the campaign continued to go on, and she had many seller prospects that need seller follow-up, many where there were lead forms, qualified lead forms submitted, and offers sent. We were just looking at this snapshot for the first day, but the results of the campaign resulted in many qualified leads, and we'll show you that here right now. So you can see with the same campaign, you can see that, again, 612 contacts. That's, again, roughly 10% of the motivated sellers, the vacant property owners, the absentee owners had responded to her "Are you selling" messages. And you can see that this 7-day campaign with the additional follow-up resulted in roughly 34 unique qualified leads, unique property owners, and some of those property owners actually have more than one property, which is why you see the lead form or qualified leads be almost 3 times that of the unique sellers. And it's not uncommon that you have some sellers own 2, 3, 4 properties. A lot of times you contact a motivated seller, they're distressed. They're distressed and they want to sell not just one property, but they may want to sell the property on 123 Main Street and the property on 789 Cherry Street. So what our deal VAs do is they ask sellers of all the properties that they're interested in selling, and they try to qualify as many of those properties as possible and then get them over to our deal finders. In this case, you can see here that there were also offers sent on 40 unique properties. And you can see here that about 34% of the contacts were categorized as dead leads, which means there's over 50% of the contacts in the system that still need follow-up. 36% here says follow up with seller, another 15% not yet interested. So these are all people that continuously need to be followed up with in order for Nikki to get the full money out of her list. And they say the money's in the list, and that's what that means. It means that you can continuously follow up to make sure that you are there to be the problem solver, the solution provider for that motivated seller when they're ready to sell. You don't want them for you to be out of sight, out of mind, and for them to go to a real estate agent or go to a broker or go to another investor. They're in your funnel. They need you and your attention to continuously follow up so that they'll put the property under contract with you as the buyer, so you can wholesale it, fix and flip it, fix and hold it, or whatever you want to do with it. Okay, is that making sense? So if it's making sense, say yes, yes, yes. Is it making sense? Say yes, yes, yes. Is it making sense to you guys? Making sense? Okay, is this making sense? Okay, good, good, good. All right, so we're going to continue on. So what is the Deal Finders Formula? So we already covered TL, which is targeted lists, vacants, absentee owners, pre-foreclosures, divorcees, skip tracing, which is the process through which you need to get their contact information so you can use technology to actually reach out to them quickly. So in this particular case study, so Nikki actually used our Deal Finders funnel to actually have an auto dialer to send out are you selling prospecting calls and text messages and ringless voicemails to her targeted list of roughly 6,200 potentially motivated sellers. So the auto dialer was set up by our tech team for Nikki, and then our deal VAs went ahead and prepped it and sent her the instructions, and all she had to do was select her list, her targeted area, like she said. She gets her list, it's skip traced already. She then submits the list to us after reviewing it, and she just presses go. And then the Deal Finders funnel takes over, the auto dialer sends out the text messages, the ringless voicemails, initiates the campaign for the deal VAs to then do the text replies and the callbacks. And that's how you go from the targeted list of prospective motivated sellers targeting her area, 18 miles outside of Cleveland, or that radius, the type of property, she said single family, and of course they were vacant and or absentees. We provide the list with the phone numbers, so to skip trace, and then she uses our Deal Finders funnel with the auto dialer to actually kick off the campaign. So that's so far what we covered with the Deal Finders formula is TL plus ST plus AD, and cold calls. We'll get into that here in a second. But I want to go ahead and make sure that you guys know that you can actually get the full Deal Finders formula at thedealfindersformula.com. You can get instant access to the entire 12-part video training. It's over 12 hours of content. You won't be disappointed. And it's over $5,300 in value. There are a bunch of bonuses I'm not going to get into, but it's $1,000 of bonuses from our JV templates to many other things that will help you to get these properties under contract and actually partner with people to get these deals done. So in our holiday special right now, we're taking 50% off, and it's only $19. You can't even get a Happy Meal and supersize it for you and your kids for 19 bucks. So go ahead and take advantage of it at dealfindersformula.com. You'll get instant access to the 12-part video training, and it's over 12 hours of content. I think you will enjoy me deep diving into the Deal Finders formula. Okay, so let's continue on. So cold calls. Most people hate sales calls. Our investor training VAs, they do text replies and live callbacks on the are you selling replies that we get from the campaigns that we run for our clients. But if you wanted to do cold calls, you could with our Deal Finders funnel. Cold calls, there's a reason why people still do cold calls. People cold call because it works, okay? It works because there's no replacing a one-on-one conversation, okay? And so we find motivated sellers in your list when you're going through our Deal Finders challenge. If you were to implement the Deal Finders formula on your own and you were to cold call on your own, you want to make sure that you cold call people that have not yet responded to your ringless voicemails, not yet responded to your text messages. And so you want to make sure that you try a different way of contacting people you have not yet heard from. And we're going to get into that in a second. But the beauty of using our deal VAs, as you heard Nikki say, is that they are well trained and they will continuously follow up on the opportunities inside your list. You get real-time notification of these motivated seller leads. They can come to you via email or text message, whatever you prefer. You wind up getting qualified seller leads like you see here. You'll get a lead form. It'll give you the basic information like the seller's contact information. It'll basically answer the critical questions that need to be asked and answered in a seller questionnaire. Again, you can get call or text notifications of these leads. The leads have the property details, property condition, the motivation for selling, price and terms flexibility. For example, one of our seller questionnaire questions is if we close all cash, if we close quickly, would you be interested in some money now and some later, let's say a year and so? And so that particular question allows you to understand whether they are open to some type of seller financing or some type of creative financing. So we have the motivation for selling, the flexibility on price and terms embedded in our seller questionnaire. So our deal VAs are trained to get this information for you, and you get these qualified leads. So let me bring Nikki back in here. And Nikki, are you still there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I wanted to bring you back in here because you made reference earlier that the deal VAs were actually generating more leads than you expected. So I showed people the numbers, how you started with a campaign somewhere around 6,200 records. And you were targeting single families. Were you targeting any other type of property?
I think right just now, I think I only put in for single families, but
Okay.
my next campaign, I would love to up it up to maybe two family duplexes, something like that for right now.
Okay. So you can for sure target, multi units if you want, but she was just targeting single family in this particular campaign. And you made reference to the fact that you were getting more leads than you even anticipated. How many, do you know how many leads, qualified leads you got in the lead forms you gotten so far in this particular campaign?
Too many, no. I mean, it's quite a few, quite a bit.
All
Like,
right, too
like,
many.
yeah, it's like what am I supposed to do with all of this? Like, can I call out these people? Can I follow up? So I get the
That's
lead
good.
forms, and
That's
it's just
good.
like amazing. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't expect this, but it's good. It has all of the seller contact information for me to follow up. It has all of the general information that the VAs have vetted these sellers with, the owners with, and so that gives me a starting point when I do pick up the phone to call and ask questions to, see just where that motivation is and what we can do, what I can do to help them um, with whatever's going on with them. But yeah, it's I really didn't expect that many leads at one time. So it's like constant, it's like coming through the email, coming through the email. You have another vetted form, you have another form, you have another form. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's what you want. That's exactly what
Yes.
you want. So this particular property, the one that you got under contract with the assignable contract, this is the one that Reese actually pitched for you at Deals Meetup,
Yes.
Garfield Heights.
Uh-huh.
And here are the numbers. You had estimated that the ARV would be somewhere around 95 to 100. You
Right.
were asking 55. You think the repairs, based on your experience, is only around 15,000. Just
Uh-huh.
to, what do you think is required there?
Uh, about 15 to 20, if that, with the again with the updating.
And
Um,
what do you think? What do you think needs to be updated? Just curious.
well, it needs a painting, some little TLC painting, maybe new flooring, carpeting. Up under the carpet, though, there are hardwood floors that could just probably be stained. The kitchen's a little dated. The
Okay.
bathroom is okay. The bathroom looks good. Has a pedestal sink in there, and but I think just painting, uh, either recarpeting or just taking the carpet up
Okay.
and just staining the floors a little bit. And the basement's, partially completed. There's a toilet downstairs, but it's not an enclosure. So if you want to complete that, make it a 3 1.5 with and then the attic is open. Has paneling up there now, so that you're going to either take the paneling out or just do some, stucco or whatever you call it up there.
Okay.
But it's a huge area in the attic for a whole nice bedroom with the sitting area upstairs. And then again, even with the partial basement, that could be actually converted into a sitting area, which it was initially. So um, I think up in the one part of the basement, though, he said that his brother overflowed the bathtub.
Uh,
So some of that needs to be repaired up there, but it's just from an overflow of the tub when his brother fell asleep in the tub or something, he said. So, but
okay.
otherwise, it's great. The garage is nice and full 2-car attached garage. Yeah, some TLC it needs.
All right, cool, cool. So we'll bring you back in a second. Just wanted you guys to hear her talk through that particular deal. So again, we're talking about the deal finance formula, and the deal finance formula is TL plus ST plus AD plus CC plus SMS plus VM plus MF plus JV is a deal finance formula. Had a couple questions here. So let me answer these questions here. Perfect time to do it. So the deal finance formula is a 12-hour training. So the 12-hour training with the deal finance formula offered today usually is over $5,000 worth of value, including the bonuses for only 39 bucks. We're doing 50% off of that with this holiday sale. So if you go to the dealfindersformula.com, you can get the 12-hour video training for just 19 bucks. But it is just the 12-hour video training with the Deal Finders formula. I'm also going to drop in the Deal Finders challenge link for those of you that want to actually have our done for you service that Nikki actually used to find this deal. I'm going to drop in the Deal Finders challenge link as well, and you can actually sign up for our Deal Finders challenge right now. That also is 50% off right now, extended holiday sale. I'll get more into that here in a bit.